The Joe Rogan experience.
You were just mentioning what China's doing to kind of regulate its internet. That's actually worth speaking about.
Yeah, have you been following this?
Yeah, that's what terrifies me, is that we have to become like China in order to deal with what they're doing. I feel like one step moving in that general direction is a social credit score system, and I'm terrified of that.
Right.
And I think that that is where vaccine passports lead to. I really do. And I think this idea that they're slowly working their way into our...
Why has no one never been like, Joe, we have a similar system in place. I don't know if you know this or not, but it's called the credit system. Okay? Like, I don't know why not a single one of his guests, he brings this up all the time and everyone's like, yeah. Like, what happened, dude? You're like isn't the guy he's talking to right now like a famous documentarian? Like, what? He doesn't know that? He doesn't understand that?
everyday lives and in this sort of inexorable way where you have to have some sort of paperwork or some sort of a Q code or something on your phone or QR code. That scares the shit out of me because you're never going to get that back.
Right.
Once the government has that kind of power and control, they're going to be able to exercise it whenever they want with all sorts of reasons to institute it.
I'm worried about that too, but I will say also, just to also notice that everywhere there's a way in which a small move in a direction can be shown to lead to another big boogeyman, and that boogeyman makes us angry, social media is upregulating the meaning of everything to be its worst possible conclusion. So like a small move by the government to do X might be seen as this is the first step in this total thing. I'm not saying that they're not going to go do that. I'm worried about that too. But to also just notice the way that social media amplifies that the degree to which we all get kind of reactive and triggered by that.
The thing that I think is worth mentioning is what China is doing regarding its internet, because it's seeing real problems, and we might not like their solution. We might want to implement a solution that has more civil liberties than we should.
Well, let's explain what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I'll do it quickly. So it's quite literally as if Xi Jinping saw the social dilemma, because they've in the last 2 months rolled out a bunch of sweeping reforms.
Yeah, totally, dude. Oh, come on.
That include things like, if you're under the age of 14 and you use Douyin, which is their version of TikTok, when you swipe the videos, instead of getting like the influencer dancing videos and soft pornography, you get science experiments you can do at home, museum exhibits, and patriotism videos.
Wow.
So you're scrolling and you're getting stuff that's educating, because they want their kids to grow up and want to be astronauts and scientists.
Yeah.
They don't want them to grow up and be influencers. And I'm not, when I say this, by the way, I'm not, just to be clear, I'm not praising that model, just noticing all the things that they're doing.
Well, I'll praise it.
Another,
If you can influence people, that's a great way to do it.
they also limit it to 40 minutes a day.
People that are saying, cool, that sucks ass. Shut the fuck up, dude. If I can't get my fucking cringe TikToks, if I can't look at sexy girls on TikTok, sexy sitches, what's the use, you know? Oh, did he say under 14? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I didn't realize. Okay, that is all right then. That actually does make sense though. That's actually a good policy. Never mind, I take it back. I thought they were just like doing that across the board
On TikTok. For gaming, let me actually do the TikTok example. So they do 40 minutes a day for TikTok. They also, when you scroll a few times, they actually do a mandatory 5-second delay saying, hey, do you want to get up and do something else? Like, because when people sit there infinitely scroll, even Tim Cook recently said mindless scrolling, which was actually invented by my co-founder of the Center for Humane Technology, Asa Raskin. He was in the social dilemma. He's the one who invented that infinite scroll thing. China said, hey, we don't want people mindlessly scrolling. So after you scroll a few videos, it does a mandatory 5-second like interlude. They also have opening hours and closing hours. So from 10 p.m. until 6 in the morning, if you're under 14, it's closed. Meaning one of the problems of social media for teenagers is if I'm not on at 1 in the morning, but all my friends are on and they're still commenting on my stuff, I feel the social pressure. I'm going to be ostracized if I don't participate.
Right. And if your notifications are on, your phone keeps buzzing.
Totally. And even if they're not on, it's like, oh, but I want to see if they said something about my thing. And so it's a we call a multipolar trap. If I don't participate, but the other guys are, I'm going to lose out. And Facebook and these companies, they know that, by the way. Even Netflix said their biggest competitor is sleep. So one of the, because they're all competing for attention. So when you do this mandatory thing where you say we're going to close from 10 p.m. to 6 in the morning, suddenly everyone, if you're in the same time zone, it's another important side effect, can't use it at the same time. So these are some examples for their military, by the way. If you're a member of the Chinese PLA army, you get a lockdown smartphone. It's like a light phone. It's like hyper lockdown. You can't do anything. By contrast, we know that Russia and China go into our veterans groups on Facebook, and they actually try to sow disinformation, try to radicalize veterans. Hey,
bro, you don't need too much to fucking radicalize them, dude. I think they're already pretty radicalized, brother. You know? I'm just saying, they're already fucking kind of out there, okay? You know what radicalizes veterans, dude? Literally just like not having access to fucking VA services that they were supposedly guaranteed, or realizing that they went out there and fucking blew up their bodies for literally no reason other than the fact that the military industrial complex is going to make money, and nothing else. Yeah, and in Canada, veterans get radicalized when they can't go to Denny's without a mask or with no vaccine.
hey, Afghanistan happened. Aren't you really pissed? Let me show you 10 videos, right?
Yeah.
And this is like dosing people with more mental health problems.
Right.
So in a bunch of different ways, we see that
Specifically, if you want to drive civil war in a meaningful way in the U.S.
I'm a vet and not radicalized. That's a bold statement. Dude, you're literally in here for 9 months. The fuck do you mean? You are radicalized, but in the opposite direction, in a good way.
Take the people who have real tactical capability and radicalize them. And so target those groups in particular. And it makes sense why their military wants to lock down the ability for external influence.
Of course.
You made this spreadsheet. 17-month subscriber. You made the spreadsheet, dude. Take a week off.
Of course.
right.
Yeah.
And so while we're, spending all this money building physical borders, building walls, or, spending $50 billion a year on the passport controls and the Department of Homeland Security and the physical, if Russia trying to try to fly into the United States, we've got Patriot missiles to shoot it down. But when they try to fly an information, like precision-guided information bomb, instead of responding with Patriot missiles, we respond with, here's a white glove Facebook algorithm that says which zip code or Facebook group would you like to target, right? So it changes the asymmetries. Typically what made the U.S. powerful was the geographic, we had these huge oceans on both sides. It gives us a unique, place in the world. When you move to the digital world, it erases that geographic asymmetry of power. So this is a imminent national security threat. This is not just like, hey, social media is...
Oh, these guys are a bunch of fucking custers, dude. That's right, I said it. I fucking said it. Bunch of custers, dude.
adding some subtle pollution in the form of mental health, or it's adding a little bit of polarization, but we can still get things done. It's an imminent national security threat to our continuity of our model of governance, which we want to keep.
Spoken to people in power? Have you spoken to Congress people about this?
Yes, but I'm hoping many more of them.
You subscribers you ban get refunded? Fuck no. You just can't ever subscribe to me again. Good riddance. But, no, of course you don't get refunded, dude. What the fuck? What are you, crazy? Get the fuck out of here, bro. No refunds. Yoink. My subscription now, bitch. That's right.
And watch this, because I think people need to...
Subscribers don't get refunds. The only thing they get is the ad avoidance at the top of the fucking hour. That's right, baby, because at the top of the hour, every hour, there's a 60-second ad break. Oh, my Lord. Fucking got him. Cumstered and dumpstered, baby. Here's the 1-minute ad break now.
See the full scope. And I really do want to make sure we're not sounding like just full disaster porn, because we want to get to the point...
Don't worry about that. Go full disaster porn.
Well, it just...
Better that than not.
It's not meant to scare people, just to get an appraisal of what is the situation.
It's going to scare... Reality is going to scare
Reality
people.
is scary.
It should scare people, because we're so far behind the 8 ball.
There's a really important point Tristan was just at that we actually need to double click on, which is that democracies are more affected by what's happening with social media than authoritarian nations are, and for a number of reasons. But do you want to...
Well, and we sort of hinted at it earlier, but when social media's business model is showing each tribe their boogeyman, their extreme reality, it forces a more polarized political base, which means to get elected, you have to say something that's going to appeal to a base that's more divided. And in the Facebook files that Frances Haugen put out, they showed that when Facebook changed the way its ranking system worked in 2018 to something called meaningful social interactions, I won't go into details, They talked to political parties in Europe. So here we are, it's 2018. They do an interview with political parties in Poland, in Hungary, in Taiwan, and India. And these political parties say, Facebook, we know you changed your ranking system. And Facebook like smugly responds, yeah, everyone has a conspiracy theory about how we change our ranking system because those stories go viral. And they're like, no, we know that you changed how your ranking system works because we used to be able to publish, here's a white paper on our agriculture policy to deal with like soil degradation. And now when we publish the white paper, we get crickets. We don't get any response. And we tested it, and the only thing that we get traffic and attention on is when we say negative things about the other political parties. So, and they say, we know that's bad. We don't want to do that. We don't want to like run our campaign that's about saying negative things about the other party. But when you change the algorithm, that's the only thing we can do to get attention. It shows how central the algorithm is to everything else. If I'm Tucker Carlson or...
Bro, I feel like this guy ironically has decided, or not decided, sorry. This guy ironically is proving how fucking boring it is to just not throw out controversial statements. This is good. What the fuck? I'm falling asleep right now, but then again, it's because I had a big morning, I think. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Dude, how many different ways can you hear the fucking algorithm, benefits extremist content? Like, if you've been watching me since 2016, you've heard me probably say this a million times. Like, how many different ways do you got to hear it from like different kinds of white dudes that also made the algorithm? You know what I mean? Also, half of you motherfuckers know about me because of the one polarizing argument I made. You probably saw a clip of me saying that America's a worse terrorist than Iran. Or, America deserved something, or any number of different things. The difference, of course, is that I'm right and all those other fucking dipshits are wrong and also believe in bad and wrong things. I believe in right and good things. I get mad, but, I believe in the right things, at least. That's what the difference is. That's what separates the men from the boys. That's what separates me from the fucking weirdos.